You fucking cuck. You are the biggest cuck I've ever seen on YouTube, and I can't stop smiling because I knew this day would come. I knew, and I know what people are gonna say. You said 3 years ago you would never make a video about this person again, and I did say that. But this is one of those rare exceptions where I'm going back because to make this rare video. This is like a one-time deal, most likely. It's not gonna continue. But I wanted to make this response because this video is absurd, it's insanity, it's ridiculous. I can't show you the video footage, it's linked down below to watch it in full, because I know that if I show video footage, he will content ID my content for showing his face or showing videos, so I'm not going to do that. But the video in response is, I betrayed my wife, and this is Onision making a 9-minute video talking about how he betrayed his wife that he married, the young girl known as Lainey or Laney-bot. Well, they're no longer together. They just recently separated, and I find it predictable. I find it sad in a lot of instances, because Onision, you're the very definition of like an SJW. Although you're not SJW because you say a lot of offensive and politically incorrect shit. But you're like the SJW feminists in terms of the things that you think about women. In this video, basically to summarize the video as a whole, he goes on to talk about how he betrayed his wife Lainey because his wife Lainey came out as bisexual and was interested in another woman. He was okay with her being interested in another woman. He actually thought it was pretty sexy that his wife was interested in another woman. Apparently he has a fantasy of having sex with 2 women in bed, which he describes. And some problems arose from this situation because the girl that Lainey was interested in, Onision found attractive, and Lainey felt as if Onision was giving her more attention than her, the person that she's married to, which obviously would create a conflict in any relationship. I mean, if you are in a monogamous relationship and you're married to someone, and that person is getting attention to somebody else, that makes perfect sense. Jealousy is going to be a real issue. In that context of marriage, it makes sense. But anyway, Onision was okay with his wife being interested in another woman, and apparently Onision somehow, although he tries to cover it up, didn't fall for this other woman that he flew out to film videos with, to be friends with Lainey, that Lainey was interested in this other girl. And I guess Onision fell for this girl, essentially, is what happened. And it resulted in them cuddling with one another, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Lainey communicated that she feels uncomfortable that Onision would cuddle with another woman when they're married in their own fucking house, which, realistically, that would make any girl feel uncomfortable if you're married to somebody and they're off cuddling with somebody else when you're not around. I mean, that's a perfectly natural thing for anyone to feel, whether you're straight or bisexual or gay. But this video is absolutely pathetic because he attempts to apologize for cuddling with somebody that was not his wife, getting physical affection from someone who was not his wife, apologizing it, but also attempting to justify it by publicizing it to the internet, giving these bullshit reasons. And what blows my mind even further is that he literally says that he thinks that women are superior, which is already ridiculous. Why can't there be equality among men and women? But the biggest thing that just blew my mind is how he says in this video that he has given the rights to his child, because he had a child with this woman, to Lainey. Completely just signed a document, supposedly he wrote this document out, and gave the rights to his own child to this woman because he thinks that the woman has all the say in a custody of a child, that if she doesn't want him to see his own child, he's not allowed to see it. Simply because she feels uncomfortable for the child to see Onision. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that the child will never, if Lainey decides never to have the child see Onision again, maybe that's a good thing. However, it just blows my mind at why you would sign basically your rights away to your own child. Why would you do that unless you're a fucking feminist cuck who elevates women to be like this social status of a god, which is really what you've done here. Like, even if I was cheated on, which has happened before, and I had a kid with this person, I would want access to my child. I would not sign away exclusive rights to my child to a fucking woman who couldn't complete my fantasy of having a threesome in my own bed. So maybe it's a good thing, despite how fucked up it is, that your child may not be able to see you ever again. But Greg, Onision, who's it gonna be next? What girl are you gonna prey on next? You're just gonna get trampled on over and over and over again for every time you elevate some girl to god status. They're gonna use you for all of your YouTube money because you got a lot of it, and they're gonna leech your dick dry. So dry that you probably won't be able to make children with another woman. I mean, you're already paying alimony to some other girl, now you're paying more money to these other two people that are into one another. Like, Jesus Christ, I'd feel like shit if I were you, having to pay all this money to different people because I always fuck up the relationship. How the fuck do you live with yourself, honestly, sincerely? It astounds me, it amazes me, to say the least. Anyway, to take away from this video, if you're married to someone, hands down, if you're married to someone and you give affection to some other woman, don't be shocked when they are hurt, when they feel uncomfortable, when they feel betrayed. Because that's a perfectly natural habit to feel when your husband goes after somebody else and shows somebody else affection rather than your own wife. That, to me, is deplorable.